On the reports of the 17th session of the United Nations General Assembly, Secretary-General of the United Nations Ban Ki-moon addressed the latest situation of human rights in Iran. This report discussed and expressed concerns regarding various aspects of violations of human rights in Iran, including the continued use of death penalty, rise in the number of execution, detention and persecution of journalists, civil and women's rights activists in Iran. Mohammad Amin Abdullahi, a political prisoner currently in his 10th year of imprisonment sentence in the Birjam prison, started a hunger strike 15 days ago, 7 days of which was a dry hunger strike, in protest against his transfer to this prison. On Mr. Muhammad Ali Taheri's 16th day of hunger strike inside the Evin prison, a number of protests who had gathered outside of the Evin prison were attacked by the security and police forces. Following an exclusive meeting of a member of the International Organization to Preserve Human Rights in Iran with Tony Klam, a representative at the European Parliament, a statement signed by a group of deputies and members of the European Parliament was published. This report was addressed to the President of Iran and the head of Iran's judiciary, and was entitled Urgent and Immediate Action to Save the Life of Dr. Mohammad Ali Taheri. In this report, it was requested that Dr. Mohammad Ali Taheri's rights as a citizen and as a human must be respected, and an immediate action must be paid towards his deteriorating health condition, as he has now been on a hunger strike for 64 days and is at a serious risk.
The Supreme Leader's representative and the Friday prayer Imam of the Esfahan province said that considering the number of universities available in Iran, it is possible to segregate students by their gender, a plan which only needs the cooperation of the officials to be carried out. Amnesty International have said that Artena Faraghdani, an Iranian cartoonist, has been requested to do a virginity test before her court session on charges of adultery. Centers researching the hijab reported that over the last decade, thousands of schoolgirls have been made to wear hijab. On Sunday, the 11th of October 2015, Narges Mohammadi was transferred to the hospital due to having a seizure in prison.
Mahdiya Golru and Majid Dari, two student activists and former political prisoners, were both expelled from the university due to having spent time in prison and unauthorized absence from the university. Despite several attempts, they are still deprived from continuing their education.
On Sunday, the 11th of October 2015, 105 seasonal workers of the Mirab and Water Agro-Industrial Complex of Karun gathered in front of the Shushtar government building in order to protest against their having been fired from work. Furthermore, the neck arthritis and lumbar disc disease of Behnam Ebrahimzadeh, a labor activist and a political prisoner in the prison, is not being treated, and he has not been given the authorization to see doctors or to seek any sort of medical attention.
On Saturday, 10th of October 2015, 3 people accused of drug-related crimes were hanged in the central prison of Rasht. The death sentence of a man accused of murder was approved by the Supreme Court. The defendant's wife and 2 friends also participated in this crime by helping with the murder and burial of the victim's body, and were given imprisonment sentences. On Saturday, 10th of October 2015, Mohammad Karimi, a civil rights activist and one of the participants in the civil protests in Tehran, contacted his family announcing that he was arrested and transferred to the Evin prison. On Sunday, 11th of October 2015, Hassan Rasoolnejad, a member of the coordinating committee to help form workers' organizations, introduced himself to the prison in order to serve his 6-month imprisonment sentence. Hamid Bahrami, a 30-year-old prisoner who was sentenced to death on charges of murder, committed suicide in the Rajai Shahr prison. On Monday, 12th of October 2015, the court case of an individual accused of murder and another regarding an explosion was approved by the Supreme Court. On Monday, 12th of October 2015, 3 individuals accused of waging war against God were hanged on Ershad Kazarun Road. On Monday, 12th of October 2015, 6 prisoners were hanged in the Central Nedamatgah prison in the city of Karaj. 4 of the prisoners were accused of drug trafficking, and the remaining 2 were accused of rape.
Fatemeh Ekhtasari, Saeed Mehdi Masouvi, and Kayvan Karimi have all been given long and harsh imprisonment sentences. Fatemeh Ekhtasari was sentenced to 11.5 years imprisonment and 99 lashes. Saeed Mehdi Masouvi was sentenced to 9 years imprisonment and 99 lashes, and Kayvan Karimi was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment and 222 lashes by the head of Branch 28 of the Revolutionary Court. Fatemeh Salbahi, a young lady who had been arrested for murdering her husband when she was 17, was executed on Tuesday the 13th of October 2015 in the Adil Abad prison. The press secretary of the jury announced that the Goal Sports newspaper was found guilty by the press court and was charged with spreading lies by a majority of votes. The police chief of Gilan, who was responsible for the maintenance of information and data, announced that a female wedding director in the city of Rasht was identified and arrested on a charge of posting immoral content on Instagram. Following a union member's complaint against a weekly newspaper, the editor was summoned to the court and sentenced to 91 days imprisonment and 10 lashes. Hassan Sheikh Aghai, the managing director of the Ravanga analytical news website, was arrested in Mahabad, and the activity of the website was ceased. Amin Anvari's mother was prevented from visiting her son inside of the prison due to the fact that he had participated in civil rights protests in Tehran prior to being arrested. Amin Anvari is a civil rights activist and was a student at the Amir Kabir University prior to his arrest.